Y'all told me it wasn't too late, and now I'm here. So let's get into episodes 1 and 2 of the Braxtons. Let's get into it. And what's going on, you guys? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another review, our very first review of the Braxtons, season 1, episodes 1 and 2. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. At first, I wasn't gonna review the Braxtons. I did have it. At first, I was, but then I saw that first episode, and I was like, "Baby, I cannot do all this sad stuff. I cannot." And I feel like this whole season is gonna be like that. But then, as I saw the clips online and stuff like that, and started watching it sporadically, I was like, "Okay, this is pretty decent." But then I thought, "Okay, we're 4 weeks in. Ain't nobody gonna try to see no reviews from me on the Braxtons 4 weeks in." But all my people told me, go ahead and review it. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to catch myself up today since I'm off. I'm going to do a review for episodes 1 and 2, and then I'm going to give you guys a review later on for episodes 3 and 4. And you'll have a couple of videos today, just in time for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when that comes on today. So yes, we're working, although we're off, but we're working, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this thing, you guys, all right? So let's start off with the very first thing now. Of course, they started off with the Braxtons are back. It's been years since the Braxton family values have been on. It's been 2 years at this point since Tracy has passed on. And now we're back. And, Mama E says that she felt like the Braxton show should have never ended. But according to some of us, we feel like it should have ended because the Braxton show has really exposed them. And not only has it exposed them, but it's probably opened up wounds that they thought was shut or put a band-aid and some ointment on it. And yeah, it pretty much showed where they really were in their relationship and things like that. But it did show that the Braxtons are a dysfunctional family. We see these family shows and stuff like that, and they don't really keep it real. The first time we ever seen a family reality show that really kept it real like that was the Keisha Cole The Way It Is. Baby, I missed that show. Baby, I love that show. Baby, I would pay to watch that motherfucking show again. And that's on God. I wonder where I could find it. Maybe if I could find it somewhere, I can do some retro reviews on that show and do the thug thing. I would love to do some retro reviews on shows of the past that I really used to love to watch. I would love to. I wonder where I can find The Way It Is, though. I would love to tune in and watch it and do some reviews on it. Just something, to keep the content flowing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But they're all talking about how happy they are that the Braxtons are back and things like that. Okay. So now we get into Trina and Vaughn. Now, Trina said that she's been married to Vaughn for quite some time now. And even though they've been together for so long, she is still in love with Vaughn. Okay. Trina is giving me still. Feels like the first time we met that I kissed and I told you I loved you. We still run around like teenagers, even though we're grown and married with kids. We still talk on the phone for hours when I'm away. He still writes letters and sends me flowers every other day. The question everybody asks is how we make it last. I tell him I still, he still, we still. Yes, that's what it's giving. But yeah, she said she's still in love with Vaughn the same way she was in love with him when she first met him. So it's good to see Trina be in love and having a man that really loves her. So Vaughn asked her, how does she feel about the show coming back? Trina says that she's very leery of the show coming back. She's leery of it. They've been through a lot of things with that show. And she says that she would think that even with Tracy passing away, she thought that with Tracy passing away, it would have brought everybody closer together. But the sisters are still not close. Everybody's in their own separate corners at this point. Nobody is really close now. And it's really sickening her that, they're not that close at this particular point. She says, but this week the sisters are doing a check-in, which is much needed, and that has been very difficult for Trina because she was the last one to see Tracy take her last breath. She was the one that saw her take her last breath, and it's been very hard for her. Then they started talking about little Kevin, and at this particular point, little Kevin is estranged from Kevin Sr. Now Trina says he already lost his mom, and now he has one more parent left, and he's not even talking to him. So she says, regardless of how she feel personally about Kevin Sr., she still feels as though he should be cut a little bit of slack because he lost his wife. He was grieving as well. So sometimes you get that when you're grieving over somebody. You know, sometimes y'all get into a particular place, but we really don't know how to explain that because we haven't been through that before. So some of us have never been through that before. So that's where he was at with it. She says that Tony has an announcement, but she don't really know what this announcement is going to be because it's Tony Braxton. So they never really know what she's going to tell them. And she's kind of scared. All she knows is that the last time she had an announcement, she was telling everybody that she was sick with lupus. So she really don't know what's going to happen at this point. And listen, when you got a sibling that's already sick, and the last time they said I got an announcement to make, they was letting us know that they had lupus, honey, I'd be scared too. I'm just being honest. So then we get into the Braxton dinner. Tawanda isn't there yet. Tawanda's running late. Tony says that she's back working, like she's about to do this variety show with, you know, Sid the entertainer, and she hasn't been able to work in like 15 months. You know what I mean? So that's what the doctor told her. So, you know, when she first found out that she had lupus, she was told that she would never be able to perform again. So now at this point, now that she's performing again, it's making her feel good about everything that's really going on with her. So I would say this with Tony. Tony has seen it all. Tony has been through bankruptcy twice. Okay, she's going through lupus. She was told that she would never be able to sing or perform again, and she's still performing. And one thing about it, and two things for certain, Tony Braxton is the jam. Sometimes I feel like Tony really don't get the she don't really get the praise that she rightfully deserves to get. But Tony Braxton is the jam. And I can't stop thinking about the way things used to be. And I can't stop thinking about the love that you made to me. And I can't get you out of my head. How in the world would I begin to let you walk right out my life and blow my heart away? Okay, she the jam. Give her praises. Give her props. Give her a lifetime. Soul Train, honor Tony. Honor Tony on Soul Train this year. Honor her. She deserve it. Anyway, they discussed when they asked Tony, is she single? She said, yeah, I'm single. She said, I'm not married. I'm not engaged anymore. I'm single, and that's all I got to say about that. First of all, I don't know what the fuck Tony saw in Birdman. Tony just seems too upper echelon for Birdman. But I don't really want to say that because that make me sound bad when I say that. So I'm just going to forget I even said this shit. But it just don't. Tony and fucking Birdman, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was she craving? You know what I mean? Like, what was she doing? What made you want Birdman ass? You feel what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to me. But anyway, Tawanda shows up finally, but it come to find out that Tawanda and what is it? Tawanda and Trina are dressed the same. They said it wasn't planned, but Tony and Tamar think that it was. So then they started talking about the first time Trina got diagnosed. You know, they were basically saying she got diagnosed when probably back in 2020. So she had been diagnosed for quite some time now, or whatever. So she'd been knowing for a minute. Tamar says that they need grief management. They discuss going to grief counseling. Tawanda then says that little Kevin is going through a divorce right now. And then Tony starts breaking down. When she starts basically saying that she got a heart issue and she's worried about her kids. And she just feels like, you know, every time she gets a little bit of heartburn, she gets scared. You know, she's really in this place where she's frightened about her health right now. And all she's thinking about is her kids. And, she was like, what's going to happen if I leave here and I leave my two kids behind? And, that is a sad thing to go through. When you sick and stuff like that, you got kids, like that's all you could think about. I remember when my mother had uterine cancer. She didn't tell us that it was uterine cancer until after the procedure was done. But my mama was scared for her life. And I was 15, my sister was 13, my brother was just 3 years old. So it was just like she was scared. Scared for her life at that. Well, he was 4 at the time, but she was scared for her life then, like, because she knew she didn't really have nobody like that, and she was married to a low down, dirty bastard, and he was gonna do whatever he could to separate us. So when you sick and you got kids and stuff, that's all you could think about. So I understand where Tony was coming from, and it was very sad and heartbreaking to see her break down like that. It really. So Trina and Tawanda, they go out for a drink and come to find out, well, we already knew that because Trina had said it multiple times, but Trina and Tawanda are the closest with each other. Tamar and Tony live in LA. Mikey and Tracy lived in Maryland, and Trina and Tawanda, they live in Atlanta. So of course it makes sense for them to be the closest. So Tawanda pretty much comes in. She admits that she has alopecia. People have noticed that people have noticed that Tawanda rocks, a bald head. So a lot of people thought that she was extremely sick with something, but didn't nobody really know what it really was. So she was like, people got their own, thoughts about what's really going on with me. Like they know that I'm sick with something, but they don't know that it's alopecia. The world don't really know that I got alopecia. I'm not screaming to the world, oh bitch, I got alopecia, but that's what's going on. So they start saying that they're thinking about little Kevin. They call little Kevin. And Kevin said that he got his hair braided, but his wife did it. And they was like, the wife that's serving you with divorce papers? And he was like, right. He's confused by his wife because one minute she wants a divorce, then the next minute she braiding his hair, then the next minute, I don't know what the hell going on. So it's just like, okay, what's really going on? So they all discuss the grief counseling thing, and Kevin agrees that they all need to go. So I'm glad that everybody is on the same page when it comes down to the counseling thing. So it's time for the grief counseling. Tamar said, I already got therapy already. I've had all kinds of therapy. Well, girl, it ain't working because you still the same damn person that you always been. So it ain't working. You need it more than anybody. I can't stand Tamar. I'm sorry. She just irks me out. Like, I don't want to go into this review just dragging her ass because this is the first review I've done on this show. But it's just like, girl, like, you talking about you got therapy. You could have already went to therapy, but that doesn't mean that the therapy has to stop. Like, the last time I went to therapy, it was 2019. And baby, I need therapy now. And I'm going to go to therapy now that I'm out here. I know a therapist out here. I'm going to go to a therapist and I'm going to get my life right. Like, I'm good. The first step was getting away from what I needed to get away from, but now there's a lot of issues that I know I need to talk about and discuss and decompress and let it go. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist more than one time. Just because you went to go see a therapist once don't mean you don't need to go back. It's always room for more improvement. So please stop. So anyway, Trina discussed losing Gabe. Now, we do know that Gabe died a couple of years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, he died of cancer years ago. And we know that Trina and Gabe, they had a tumultuous relationship. They was up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And they, eventually, decided to separate and things like that. So Trina had to deal with the loss of losing Gabe. And regardless of the fact that she was in another relationship, Gabe was a part of her life for a long time and a part of her kids' life. So yeah, she had every right to grieve over him. There's nothing wrong with that. But Trina doesn't think that she's ready. She doesn't think that she's ready now that they're sitting there, with the therapist or whatever. Evelyn says that she almost lost Tracy 3 times. She almost lost her when she carried her. She almost lost her as a kid. And then she lost her completely. And she says that she prayed that God would take Tracy even while Tracy was sick, because she could not stand to see her child be sick like that. She could not stand to see her child suffer. And I understand that. Real talk, I do. It's always hard when you're dealing with a person that got cancer. As you all know, my uncle died of cancer in 2021. He lived in the house with us. He did hospice at our house. So when you watching them deteriorate and you see them get skinnier and skinnier, and then you realize that the things that they thought that they could do, they can no longer do it anymore. Like when he first came down, he could still talk. He could still bathe himself. He just had a feeding tube. One weekend I left to go to Detroit. I come back, this man can't talk. He can't do nothing for himself anymore. It's crazy how things begin to deteriorate weeks went by, to the point to where he stopped going to the bathroom by himself. He needed a diaper. Like, it was, cancer does a lot. And it's a very hard, traumatizing thing to see somebody just pass on right before your very eyes. And I never experienced nothing like that. So I get where Miss Evelyn was coming from when she said that she prayed that God took Tracy away because she needed some relief. I totally understand that. Tawanda says that Tracy found out that she had cancer in 2020. They were filming for Tony's birthday. She said it was burning every time she swallowed. She went to the doctor, and that's when she found out that she had cancer. Then we started seeing like the last days of Tracy. They were showing all these videos of leading up to her death, and it was nice to see that they were a family. It was nice to see them be a family as she was taking her last breaths, living in her last days, her last few days. It was nice to see that. But also sad to see at the same time. Um, Tracy said that Tawanda felt like she wasn't strong enough to witness Tracy take her last breath. And Trina said that she blew up on Tawanda and basically said, "You don't tell me nothing. You can't tell me what I'm good at. You can't tell me that I can't see my sister take her last breath. What make you think I can't see my sister take her last breath? What make you think I can't see my sister take her last breath?" That's the type of tone and the attitude that Trina had about it. But when she took her last breath, she lost it, and she knew that she couldn't handle it. You could never handle watching somebody take their last breath. It's horrible. Um, Tamar said, "I dealt with my grief in a different way. I had tools to use for me to get past it the way that I knew how." So Wanda said that she has her own way of grieving. She doesn't grieve like everybody else does. And that is very true. Everybody doesn't have the same process. Um, so Spirit asks, where are they as sisters? Trina says that everyone isn't connected anymore. Everybody's in their own separate places. Everybody's focused on themselves. And, they're no longer connected. Like, they are very much so not really close right now. Um, they said that Tracy was the glue that they didn't realize that they had. That's crazy. The one that was treated the worst is the one that would keep y'all together. I hate to go there, but it's so annoying to watch this and knowing the real shit. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, Tony says that she's at the angry stage of grief. Like, she's not ready to accept it, and she keeps it all suppressed, and she feels a bit of survivor's guilt because she's the oldest. She's lived her life. She's been sick. She felt like she would have died before Tracy, and she felt like Tracy was younger than her, and she had a whole lot more living to do, and she was taken away. So she feels guilty that she's still here, but Tracy is gone. Understood. It's that survivor's guilt, and it could be other guilt. But again, I said I'm not going there. So then, um, she said music keeps her self-medicated. You know, it's music is the thing that keeps her grounded. It keeps her elevated. It keeps her mind right. It allows her to feel and live within the moment. And sometimes she when goes back to before she made it, when there was less responsibility and less things being placed upon her. And she says that her parents did a great job at letting them know about the core values of what a family is supposed to be, but they didn't do a good job at allowing them to live individually. They did not allow individuality. At some points, it felt like they had to put their sisters over their kids, and that's a problem. That's a problem. As parents, you have to allow your kids to live their life the best way they know how. Sometimes when you have that responsibility, you got to include your siblings and everything, and you want to live your life individually. And that happens when you're the oldest. When you're the oldest, you're expected to do so much shit. You're expected to look after your youngest kids, your youngest siblings. You're expected to keep everybody together. My dad does that to me, and I'm not even the oldest. I'm the second oldest. Yeah, I was believed to be the oldest for the first, 12 years of my life, but I'm not the oldest. I'm the second oldest, but he still places that responsibility. How do we move forward as a family? I don't know. How are you going to be able to connect with your siblings? I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to them now. I'm not doing it. Even with my mama, look out for your sister. 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 That was before my baby brother even came along. I was always told, look after your sister. Look after your, take up for your sister. Protect your sister. When I didn't have the tools to protect my own self and take up for my own self. So that's a lot of responsibility. You have to allow your kids to, yes, teach them the core values of what family is supposed to be and what it really is, but also encourage individuality in their lives as well. You can't let them live, vicariously through each other. You have to let them live their lives for themselves, because at the end of the day, yeah, they were raised together, but when they get older, they got their own lives to live and their own things that they want to do. And everything doesn't have to be intertwined just because we're family. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and everybody agreed with that. Daddy Braxton says he wants to be a part of their process. Lil Kevin also expresses how hard it is to lose a mother and lose a wife, and how blindsided he was by the divorce. In the midst of him, talking about his own feelings, he goes away and the police is there. Come to find out, he's getting arrested. He has a warrant. Tawana calls Kevin. She finds out that he got a warrant. Tamar is annoyed because she feels like it's a whole lot of secrets going on and ain't nobody really being honest and ain't nobody really keeping it real right now. That's how she feels. She said, y'all got way too many secrets and it's so irritating. And it may be a reason why they're not telling Tony and Tamar that. I really feel like Trina and Tawanda are the main two that's probably making the initiative to have a better relationship with Kevin, being that he just lost his mama. And I feel like they are the main two that's doing that. You feel what I'm saying? They're the main ones that's doing it. So I just feel like, yeah. Yeah, it's a reason why y'all don't know what's going on. Tamar constantly says that she already been to grief counseling, so she don't really need shit. And then next thing you know, Tamar says that she refuses to beg, she refuses to cower, she refuses to do any of those things just for the sake of having a sisterhood and a friendship or any of those things. And she says she's not gonna beg for no sisterhood. Now, at this point, I agree with Tamar right here, but then as we continue, I no longer agree with her. But we're going to get into the part as to why I agree with her. As a person that is not necessarily engaging with his siblings outside of his baby brother, I understand where she's coming from. When you are a person that values family, value the core values of blood is thicker than water, all of those things, and you try your best to show how much you love your siblings, how much you would do anything for your siblings, and how much you love them, and how much you would go to bat for them if they ever needed you, and you see that there's no actions being made. There is no we're gonna do right. There is no we're gonna do better. There is no we want this relationship. It's always me, 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 me. I'm reaching out to you, I'm calling you, I'm checking in on you. It's me sending you money. It's me trying to see what your kids want for Christmas. It's me flying up north to support you. It's me trying to support you in any kind of way that I know how. It's me giving you the advice that you need. It's me listening to your drunk ass phone calls whenever you call me and you feeling some type of way about your life and the failures that you decided to do. It's me doing that, but you're not doing that for somebody else. It's like a one-sided situation. You know what I mean? Like, just because we're siblings, that does not mean I'm inclined and I gotta kiss your ass to get along with you. That doesn't mean that I gotta kiss your ass in order to have a relationship with you, because it's a two-way motherfucking street. I'm your brother, you my brother. I'm your brother, you're my sister. You know what I'm saying? It works both ways. And it's, people always say, well, that's your brother, that's your sister. It don't matter what they are. I'm not begging nobody for no relationship. And that's just the case. So I got Tamar when she said that. Nobody wants to beg for no relationship with no siblings. Nobody wants to do that. But when it comes down to Tamar, we have seen her in the past disrespect her sisters. So there could be a reason why they don't really want to be bothered with her like that. They probably got to take her in doses. Then Tony apologizes to Tamar. She says that I never wanted you to feel like you're begging for a sisterhood. I never want you to feel that way, and I'm sorry. Tamar just give us that childish ass look that she's giving. She doesn't really say, I accept your apology or I appreciate it. She just sits there. And for me, Tamar does not know how to communicate. She's a horrible communicator. She doesn't know how to have a mature conversation. And they allow her to do what she does because she's the baby of the family. But baby, you are in your mid-40s, going into your late if you're not there yet. And you need to grow the fuck up. That's really what it boils down to. You really need to grow the fuck up. You're not mature. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to properly say your feelings without coming across like a damn asshole. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, nobody wants to hear anything that you got to say. People can listen to you and hear you out if you communicate effectively, but you don't. It's ridiculous. And I don't like that. Tony says there are times where she doesn't understand her sister. She wants to understand. She wants to have this bond, but it's like she doesn't know what's going on. Like she doesn't know why she can't really understand her sister and what she's saying. So then after that, Trina says, whenever you call me, what do I do? Tamar says, you show up and I appreciate that. So Trina says, 9 times out of 10, I'm always there. I'm always showing up. I'm always calling you. I'm always texting you. I'm always doing that. Trina's whole thing is, say what you need to say to who you need to say it to. Don't group everybody into the fold because you're not talking about everybody. You're talking about Tawanda. That's who you're talking about. So you need to say that and don't group me into what you got going on with Tawanda because it really ain't got nothing to do with everybody. It's you and Tawanda. So Tawanda pretty much in so many words says that she creates boundaries. She doesn't engage in certain energy. She doesn't do certain things. She focused on her own shit. She really ain't got time for it. And Tamar is over there laughing and giggling and being obnoxious. And it's like, it was so baffling to me when this scene first came out, because it's the second episode right here. It was so baffling to me when everybody was trying to make Tawanda be the big bad villain, the big bad wolf, while Tamar is this doting victim. And I'm like, she's nobody's victim in this. Like, are we watching the same damn show? Because she ain't nobody's victim. We've seen Tamar terrorize her sisters for way too long now. We've seen it. So why is anybody in this bitch making it seem like she's the victim in this situation when y'all know damn well that girl ain't no victim in this situation? If she has a precarious relationship with her sisters, it's because she started it. She created that. And don't nobody want to deal with that shit. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to deal with her bullshit. No one. When you have dealt with so much shit, when you put your boundaries out there, when you have said, this is not what I'm accepting. This is not what I'm going to tolerate. I need for you to stop. I need for you to treat me with more respect than you treat me. I need for you to value my feelings. I need for you to see that you're hurting me. And you don't do none of that. So what do you expect? There will be boundaries. I'm no longer taking your bullshit. So therefore, there are boundaries being set here. There are boundaries being set. What the did you think this was, honey? What the did you think it was? You can't constantly keep on disrespecting people and giving your unasked for opinions and talking about other people in their life and all this other shit. But then when somebody talk about yours or have an opinion about yours, then you want to cry wolf and all this other shit. Absolutely not, Tamar. You are part of the problem, and that's why Tamar don't want to with you like that. That's why she is setting her boundaries and she keeps you at a distance. And this is why I started off agreeing with Tamar, but then I started off agreeing with Tawanda with this relationship that they got, because I had that same contentious relationship with 2 of my damn siblings. I don't have time to deal with y'all shit. I don't have time for that. I'm too grown. I'm way too mature to be dealing with your bullshit. I try to communicate with y'all effectively. I know how to communicate effectively. I know how to get my points across without yelling, screaming, cursing, insulting you. And that's the only way you know how to communicate is by insulting my intelligence and insulting me as a person and being disrespectful as a person and gaslighting me and you not knowing what you're doing, acting like you don't know why I'm pissed off at you. No, distance. I love you, but from over here. If you're not going to take accountability for your actions, then I don't want to be a part of whatever you got going on. So I feel what Tawanda is saying, and I understand why her reaction is what it was. Evelyn then goes off and says that she's tired of them. They're acting like they hate each other. Tracy did not want them to be like this, and she's tired of it, and she'd rather not deal with it. But Evelyn is a part of the damn problem, and I need for everybody to know that and see that and feel that. She a part of the problem. She can sit up here and talk about, I want the girls to get along for God's sakes and all this other shit that she like to point out. Girl, bye, you a part of the damn problem and you need to own it. And your daughters need to also own the fact that a lot of their issues has a lot to do with you as well. And that's all I really got. So that's all we got for episodes 1 and 2. I'll be back a little bit later for episodes 3 and 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. But before we get up out of here, let me let you guys know something. The Boss Baby Awards is on the way back again. And it's the month of September. And they are now asking you guys, who do you think should be nominated for a Boss Baby Award this year? I've been nominated twice. Okay. I was nominated in 2023. For our and for YouTuber of the Year and Podcast of the Year with Jamar, and I won both nominations in 2023. I was nominated for the same awards in 2024, and I did not win. However, this year, they want you to put it out there, put it in the comment section, let them know what you think. I'm gonna leave the link to the post in the comment section. It's going to be pinned, and what they need from you guys is to tag the people that you feel like they should be nominated, and also tag the category you think they should be in. Now for me, I would say, if you're going to tag me and if you're going to submit my name, have me in there for Boss Babe Content Creator, Boss Babe YouTuber, Boss Babe Media Blog. That's for me solo. If you also want to nominate the Chasing Panel, do the Chasing Panel podcast, but you have to tag everybody. You have to tag me, you have to tag T, you have to tag Carl, you have to tag Jamar, Tremel, and Jeremy. All 6 of us have to be tagged in order for them to recognize it. And if you want to show support to my baby father and my friends, you can also tag Bando, Carl, and Tremel for Boss Babe Artistry and also Boss Babe Performance. And also for the web series, tag Chasing and Andario for Boss Babe Executive Producer. Be sure to do that. I will have a video that I'm going to work on a little bit later where you guys can know exactly what to do with that. But the link to the actual Boss Babe post will be down in the comment section and it will be pinned. So make sure you guys do that, okay? And also be on the lookout for tomorrow. We have an interview coming out with Chef Pablo tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Me and Jamar will be returning to the prelude, all right? So with that being said, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, boys, up out here, and I will leave you guys with Bando and Alonda's Don't Sweat. Bye, y'all.
Gon' shake your ass, booty acting up. Gon' grab your drinks, baby, pass the Dutch. Damn, shorty bad, looking bad as fuck. Don't sweat it, ain't no competition, I said it. Don't exist for the beef, motherfucker, I did it. Pull up, knock your corns like Mario. Couldn't stop me do 100 miles of cardio. Damn. You niggas stay faking, you niggas stay hating, you niggas so basic. You felt the wounds, so don't test me, nigga. My team lethal weapon, Joe Pesci, nigga. They hate to see me win, so I cause them frustration. Hate to see my name, so I give them penetration. Bro, running this race on you fucking lanes. Spin the block, big old bitch, tucking chain. Bam.
Nigga high. Don't sweat. Don't stop. Don't sweat. Nigga high. Don't sweat. Don't stop.